think the good thing about knowing that I had some early years in the projects, maybe too early for me to remember everything, but the good thing about it is remembering something, and I see that there was a way to progress. And you don't have to be in the projects to need to progress. You can live in a home with another community, but you always want the next generation to improve, to grow. In fact, a lot of the wealthy people we see in America is because someone gave them, they inherited it. It was generational. And so many of us didn't have that. They didn't have anything to hand down but the love and soul food, as we call it, the ability to give them good advice and wisdom and connection, and knowing that if we're in this together, we can make it. But we still fought and looked for a way to improve, to go a little higher, as every group wants to. So it's not the wrong with coming from the projects. Many people are successful who came through there. I was able to graduate high school, college. I did some post-college work almost towards graduate, and teach. Been a successful teacher for close to 20 years, doing some stuff. And I think my ability to work and handle the classroom is because I've had such a upbringing where I came from. Mm-hmm. That helps me understand that I can handle it, tough enough to do it. But I think in whatever they're doing with the Butler housing and maybe demolishing it and putting other things, we can never forget to make sure that we've provided opportunity for people to advance. Because if you don't, you're going to do anything but add to the crime rate, add to the prison enrollment. You're going to add to the people who stand to the corner because you're not providing opportunities for people to pull themselves up. You always hear the expression about people pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. Mm-hmm. You can't pull up by bootstraps if you don't have boots. If there are systems that are designed to make sure it is as hard as possible for you to make it. And yes, some people will still make it because there's some things put inside of people that you can't keep them down. But there's some people who really do need an ability a hand to go forward, a hand to move up. And if we as a Christian nation is to say, if we're not willing to rid wrong systems of oppression, systems that will find it in this way it can to keep you down and locked up, then we're only destroying our own self from within. There should be opportunity for everyone who wants it. Not so much that you're enabling them, but making sure that there's no system set to keep you held down. So in moving these projects, and I'm not sure what's all going to be there, but I've already seen the beautiful News Performing Arts School. So I'm sure they're going to put all kinds of nice housing around there. And if you can't make those houses where it's mixed development, places where people of all kinds of income can live there and see and grow, work together, we're only causing a great divide. And you're going to have the haves and the have-nots. And not because people can't have, it's because you're doing your best to make sure they're not having it. But when we can let it be equal, we can let justice reign, we cannot let systems that are oppressed continue, then okay with doing with the projects, because for some coming up, you can sometimes see a stigma because it looked like it was a place for the down and out, where people wanted to hold you that you can't do better, you can't. It was the worst. I mean, it was like the only housing you can get. So it was, but we have a way to not let that be. Mm-hmm. And again, great people came from there. Many successful people came from there.
Do you know any besides yourself?
No, but I know people who are everyday people. When I say successful, they work, they have homes, they're raising families, they are law-abiding citizens. I know Toronto Bowden, who's one of them. I know my aunts and uncles who've come through. Okay. My aunts and uncles who lived in homes in Forest Hill and Rolling Hills and Bonham and nice homes with raised families. I know my Aunt Vera who works for the public transportation system. We know those things. And I say great, they live an everyday life where they support themselves. That's great enough.
Okay.
Think